Okay guys, so I'm out here in the hot sun and today I'm planting ginger. So I don't know how close you can see this, but anyway, I've just watched a video. Really see sprouts, but anyway, we'll try this. Watched a video on planting ginger that you buy in the store, and if nothing else, the plant was really pretty. So that's what I'm doing today. I got this bowl. They say you should plant it in something that's wide and not so deep. So that's what I'm doing. I tried to poke holes in it, but it actually just like broke into sections. Whatever, it's just for drainage, so I don't think it has to be pretty. So that's what I'm going with because that's all I've got. So I'm just going to fill it with some of the same soil that I've used in my vertical planter. So it already has like a fertilizer, organic fertilizer. Man, it's hot out here today. I'm going to start with this. Almost empty here of the stuff that I have mixed with peat moss and all the other things. So I'm just dumping it in. Scrape it up, loosen it. I'm going to try to find a picture of the plant online of something that's already grown. Maybe all right. So I'm just going to flatten this out a bit. Even the soil's hot. And they say to plant the ginger laying flat. Like I would have done it upside down, but good thing I watched the video. I'm just going to put it in flat, cover it up, and I'm going to pour the rest on because of course ginger's not just flat. Some of it's sticking up. Dump the rest of this on. Oh. Get it in my eyes. It is warm out today and it's supposed to be hot all weekend. So yeah, I'm just going to finish covering it, flatten it out a little bit, and I'm going to water it. Because ginger likes, apparently it's from some tropical, I don't know if it's Thailand or what, but anyway, it's tropical. Got dirt everywhere. Honestly, this is why I go through so much laundry. And I'm going to water it. So what I do, because water coming out of our hose is actually quite warm at first because the hose has a long hose and it sits in the sun and gets warm. But then after that our water's pretty cold. So I always just fill up my watering can and leave it sit out in the sun. So there's something else planted. And it's not draining, so maybe it's soaking up all that moisture. Anyway, I'm just sitting out here. I've got this done. I can say I did something today. Just taking it easy today. Had a bit of a hard day. I don't know, who knows my situation at work, but anyway, I got terminated because I refused a vaccination. And today I filed the grievance for that and handed over. I was treasurer for the union, and because I'm officially not employed anymore at the hospital, I can't do that. So I lost that as well, and I work with some great people. Honestly, with the floor, the nurses, the staff, on the housekeeping, dietary, ward clerks, everybody, like they were amazing, and I so miss them. But you know, sometimes you have to draw a line in the sand, and that was my line. I followed all the protocols until that point, whether I agreed with them or not. And then that was like my line in the sand. So, after 10 years of faithful service, I've lost my job and had to give up my position as treasurer. And today was the day that I handed over all the treasurer stuff to the new treasurer, who's going to be awesome. He's going to be great. And I told them, like, I'm always available if you have questions, because I just know in the mental state that I'm at right now, I probably forgot 1,000 things that I should have told him. But I'm always available by phone. So, yeah, so it's been a bit of a hard day. But whatever. It is what it is, and it's okay. Like I said in my introductory video, which will be up somewhere, it's these hard times that refine us and refine our vision and our priorities and our direction and so many things. And there are often things I would have never chosen, but they happen, and so you just do what you can do and you make the most of it, and you just trust that I'm a believer in God. He's stood by me in so many things and never failed me yet. And so just with this past year and so many changes and losing my parents and now this and blah blah blah, and 2 falls that like really caused some serious injuries for me in my mobility. You know what? It's just sometimes days are hard. And some days are harder than others. But I'm so thankful for grace, because it's that grace that carries me through. It's not about I used to think it was about doing everything right, making all the right choices, and then life would be wonderful and nothing bad would happen and blah, blah, blah. I don't know what your experience has been, but that's not been my experience. And I will not tell you that will be your experience if you do all the things, whatever. I just think we get equipping grace. We get equipping grace that empowers us in ways that we would have not made it on our own. At least not with the peace and the hope and the confidence that there's something better ahead. I think I've read somewhere or saw something that talked about, so often it gets dark and it gets hard and you want to give up, but your breakthrough could be right around the corner. So that's what I'm believing for. I know that with all these changes and all these circumstances that for the most part I really had no control over, other than going against who I am and what I believe, and that's just not going to happen. Because at the end of the day, that's what I have to live with. Being true to who I am on the inside. And sometimes it's going to cost you. But I'm expecting better things. Doesn't mean it isn't hurt, or it doesn't mean that there isn't grief, because there's still loss. There's a lot of people that I probably won't ever see again. And I didn't know my last day was going to be my last day. It was just before my mom died, and then I went off sick, and then at the same time pretty much all this happened, and fell twice, and I did not know my last shift was going to be my last shift. And I guess that's why you have to really try and make each day count, because you don't know what the next day holds or the future holds. And so, anyway, I don't want to go too philosophical. It's sunny, sort of. It's warm. And I have a lot to be thankful for, and I am thankful. Doesn't mean it doesn't hurt. Doesn't mean there aren't hard days and there's not tears, but it's okay. And sometimes it's okay to not be okay. I don't don't sail through these things on some spiritual floating cloud that just makes me immune to all the pain and the hurt and the grief and all the other things. I feel all those things, and sometimes the pain is, you just don't even know where to put it or what to do with it or how to, I don't know what to do with it, but it's okay. You take the good with the bad, the positives and the negatives, and the successes and the failures, and the mistakes and the wins, and all those things, and you just keep moving forward, whatever that looks like. And sometimes it's like baby steps, like having a shower in the morning instead of staying in your nightgown all day, getting up and making a meal instead of staying in your room and watching TV and just kind of rotting in your bed. Like, whatever those steps are, they're different for everybody. You just gotta keep moving forward because there's something ahead. And like I tell my husband, the best is yet to come. So I never would have been, listen, I never would have been trying to grow all these things. I wouldn't have the time to cook that I have. And actually, I haven't done very many cooking videos lately. I cook every day though. Right now I've got a meatloaf on the new smoker barbecue thing we got, and I'm here with my family. That means everything to me. That means everything to me. And we're going to build a future together. And we're going to do our best to provide for ourselves in whatever way that means. And it seems so far off right now, but you have to start, right? You just start somewhere. You take the first right step and you take the next right step, and you just take one step at a time. Like, who knows where it's going to lead? I have no clue. I think I read something somewhere else too, like the older they get, the more you realize, like, I don't know anything. When you're 18 and you got everything all figured out, that's not when life hits you. It's now when you're ready to throw in the towel and want to put your feet up. And I often identify with Moses, who at the age of whatever, 80, I don't know, God called him to go rescue the Israelites. He tried that 40 years before that, and it didn't go well. And then he's 40 years later, discouraged, depressed, just surviving in the desert. And now God says this is the time, and that's how kind of I feel. He's saying, okay, Connie, let's go. You've been thinking about this since you were 20, and it's 42 years later, and now we're ready. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Do you see me? Do you hear what I think? Do you see what's happened? Do you see the situation I'm in? Do you see the finances? Do you see blah, 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 blah? And he's like, yep, because I'm going to do it. And I'm going to do it through you and through the people around you and all the gifts that I've been given in the human form. So anyway, this is the journey I'm on, and this is the one I'm willing to take you on if you want to go on it. I don't know. It might come to nothing. It might be like the smoke in the smoker, just kind of go up and be nothing, but it might not. It might not. And this has been something that's been on our hearts for years and years and years, like really long time. And it looks like maybe now's the time. And so I'm just documenting all the steps along the way, doing the things I can, planting the ginger, these vertical planters. You just got to start. And if that's all it comes to, I've got my family, I've got friends, I've got so much more than some people. So again, if you want to follow along, you want to follow this process, because it's a definite process, and I can't predict anything. I know nothing. I have no timeline that I have 1,000 plan A, B, all those things, and probably it's not going to happen that way at all. So I'm just documenting what actually happens, and that's what I'm going to show you. And some days it's going to be great, and it's going to be happy, and it's going to be wonderful, and it's going to be, oh my gosh, this and that. And some days it's going to be heartbreak. So if you want to go on that ride with me, then hit subscribe. I don't know how often I'll post. I can't promise anything. There may be days I'll be curled up in the fetal position and not even speak. But I don't stay there. I don't stay there. I have been there. I've been in worse places than that mentally, but I don't stay there because I have hope. And it's okay to have a bad day. It's okay to not be okay, but you can't live there. So I'm pressing on, playing the cards that have been dealt to me, and we'll see where it goes. If nothing else, from beginning till now, I've lived a full life. I have wonderful people in my life, and I gave birth to most of them. And I'll never regret any of that. I've always kind of lived outside the box, gone against the flow, colored outside the lines, whatever. Because I followed my heart, and it's when I didn't follow my heart. It's when I choked that down and conformed and did the things that were expected or whatever. That's what sucked the life out of me. That's where I felt part of me start to wither and die, and I am not willing to go there right now or ever again, and I don't care what it costs me. I want to live the rest of my days true to myself and to the Creator that made me who I am. I remember one time, someday I'll go into more of my spiritual experiences, but I remember one time I was doing this Bible study and it asked this question, what can you do to show God that you love Him more? And immediately I just cringe, because I've been there. I've been through those things, and it's read more, pray more, blah, blah, blah. And I just felt that same weight start to fall on me, and I felt God say to me, just be who I made you to be. That's the best way you can show me you love me, is by being the you I made you to be. And it doesn't always win you popularity contests, and it doesn't always go well, and it doesn't always go smooth, and sometimes it actually really costs you. Really costs you. But when I put my head on the pillow at night, I need to know that I've been true to the me that He made me to be. And if that offends people, if it upsets people, I'm sorry, that's not my intent. But that's your problem. I'm sorry, that's your problem. I have to answer for me. I have to live with me. So that's where I am. I just know that with me, you're going to get the good, the bad, the ugly. You may like it, you may not. It's okay. I don't take offense. Unless you're rude, and then I'll block you. But whatever. Anyway, we'll see how this ginger grows. We can spice up our life. Take care.